What's up everybody, it is the Higgs here joining you from MMOplay.com, and today we are doing our first look on a new MMORPG called Happy Wars. So here we go, jumping into the story here. I do like this sort of cute tongue-in-cheek take on the standard MMO plot. So it looks like 3 classes here. And then maybe classes within those classes is what it looked like. Or maybe specializations. Very intuitive controls so far. Well, I know I said the controls seemed intuitive, but with this defensive thing and having to face the direction that you're fighting, normally it wouldn't be a problem, I guess, but the controls in this game don't really lend themselves toward doing that easily and automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and say maybe they're not as intuitive as I thought they would be. It is, yeah, it's a little bit tricky to control. I do like that at the end of this first tutorial they're throwing in with other, I assume these are NPCs, because they're all moving much too coordinatedly to be real people this early on. Anyway. Again, I mean, and also you've got obstacles. I have no idea what's happening. The obstacles mixed with the slightly odd camera control makes actually like telling what you're doing kind of tricky, and that you also can't use E or Q to go diagonally. I know that's sort of like a small gripe considering you've got full range of movement with the mouse control, but not being able to go diagonally with those 2 buttons like you can in like every other game makes the movement it's slightly trickier. This could be a thing too, you know, that once you play it a long time you sort of get used to it, but at this point, it seems like what's really challenging about this game is just figuring out the basic controls and using them well, and not just falling prey to the standard, you know, click, 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 and that be all you do, because that's all that really works. So far, I mean, I'm having trouble telling what's happening, and the only thing that seems to be working is just random clicking, so that's what I'm doing, and that's no fun for most gamers after a while. So the bad thing about it is actually an interesting idea for a game, and I also think it's an interesting artistic style. Like I said, I really like the sort of tongue-in-cheek thing they've got going. It's just unfortunate that it's so hard to control. Yeah, see, I have no idea what's happening. I'm supposed to be doing this team rush thing, and boy, I'm clicking it, and I've got plenty of AP, but for whatever reason, it's just not working. The skills in general are clunky, and using them, you have to, while moving with WASD, while clicking to attack and to defend, you have to then hold space, which unlocks your cursor. For some reason that worked that time, I don't know why. Then click on the skills window here on the bottom right, which is a little bit tricky because you're using your mouse to attack and defend. So you have to stop attacking and defending, move your cursor from wherever it is on the screen down to this bottom right section, and then hit that attack or group attack skill or group skill, team skill rather, to get it to work. And it's just, you know, just clunky enough of a system that it's distracting and you end up not wanting to use it. I guess you couldn't do this skill while in combat, and you had to do it outside the gates, which would have been really cool to know. And again, I got sort of locked there in the corner. Man, it just, you know, it really bumps me out, because this is a really cool idea with a really cool art style and really cool, interesting gameplay elements, but the controls are just, at least for this class, are just too unexpected, I guess. You know, it just doesn't feel right. It still feels clunky. Maybe when you get into Magic or other, you know, warrior classes, that changes. But for my money right now, Happy Wars has a big control issue problem that they need to sort out before this becomes a really, really great free-to-play game. That being said, it is a free-to-play game that you can get on Steam right now. So, you know, if this looks good to you and you think these controls are what would work for you, I'm not much of a mouse player to begin with. In RPGs and stuff, in MMORPGs, I tend to go with key binding style. So maybe that's why I can't really get a grasp on it. If you do get a grasp on this, please let me know how in the comments below. I have been the Higgs from MMOplay.com. This was your first look at Happy Wars. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.